to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, everybody. How you doing, Jay?
Mike, I'm well.
Look a little tired?
No, I'm well.
Feeling good?
What a great opportunity we have before us to explore the news, other happenings, and entertain the masses.
Absolutely. On this fine opening day. I know that because of E's theme dressing.
Yes. Who are we wearing today, E? Do we have a number on that?
Yeah.
We do. It's number 30.
Ordonez. Miguel Ordonez. All right.
Mags.
Oh, God.
Mags. I know.
Miguel Ordonez. You don't even know whose jersey you're wearing.
You son of a
Maglio Ordonez.
Maglio Ordonez. There we go. I don't know. You know what? I just got this when it was cheap. I got a cheap version.
After he left.
No,
You're
he was still
the
on the
guy
team.
that buys the
He was
jerseys when they go on super sale after a guy gets cut from the team.
Do you have a
No, he was
Charlie
still-
Batch?
Yeah, I do have a Charlie
number
Batch jersey. You know what? Actually, the worst one I have is a Scott Mitchell jersey.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bought a Scott Mitchell jersey because it was like $10 one time,
Yeah.
and I
Was
don't
he
even
still?
know.
He must have been off the team.
Yeah,
then.
he was off the team at this
number
point.
16.
But this
I
one,
didn't
he
even
was
know they actually sold those to people. I figured they ended up with
No,
the
they'll
wee witch wearing those in.
Sent him over to Nigeria.
Yeah,
well,
All
no,
those
back-
kids wearing Buffalo Bills championship.
World Championship shirts. Sure, 4 years in a row.
No, back. I don't know. They'd leave him around. I guess they didn't know what to do with him. He might have. Maybe he was still on the team, but or
Nah,
maybe
if it's $10, dude, he's
They
off
throw
the
him
roster.
to TJ Maxx or something.
it was
and you pick him
Sports
up there.
Authority.
Hmm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
there's Sports Authorities around anymore.
When I was in San Francisco, when I went to that 49er Cardinals game over Thanksgiving, they had like you know how outside the stadium they have banners like showing like highlighting their top players.
Sure, yeah.
And they had like Vernon Davis still up right when he was traded to Denver. And you go into their store there at the stadium, and they had tons of Kaepernick jerseys, and it was just like these things are so worthless.
Yeah.
They're just worthless.
I know. I did. Ordonez was still on the team when I bought this. I just think
Yeah,
it was,
There's
I was
nothing
on
wrong with having a Maglio jersey.
Well,
No,
that
He was
run
a classic enough
right.
player.
Yeah, I agree. Maglio is one of those.
Now, if you're walking around with an Inge or something,
Right.
Bobby
Yeah,
Higginson,
Bobby Higginson would be tough.
Rod Deere.
It's such a stark
Gabe
difference
Kapler.
too when you look at the history of certain franchises. Like a Tom Brady jersey will always sell. A Barry
Right.
Sanders jersey will
Yeah.
always
Steve
sell.
Eiserman still.
Eiserman, sure, those will always sell. Like when I went to that 49ers store, they have a section that's dedicated completely to like
classics,
legends,
Rice
and they're selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Like you go in there, there's Roger Craig, Steve Young, Jerry
Ronnie
Rice,
Lott. You can't go wrong.
Montana, Lott. Like those jerseys
Yeah.
are huge sellers.
Right.
But who would you do that with on the tie? Like, yeah, you'd have
there'd be a ton of Tigers.
well,
you'd wanna
Tigers. Yeah, you could do that with the Tigers, but
do it with the Pistons.
yeah.
Come on, what you could do with that any Detroit team
That's
other than the Lions.
yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of the Lions, Barry Sanders, and who else? Like, you're not going to sell out of Mel Farr jerseys. or-
Megatron now, I suppose, will stick around.
Yeah, but
Do you think? You think Megatron's jersey in 10 years will be like a hot thing?
no.
I don't know that it will either.
And Barry only is because of how good I guess
Billy
he was.
Sims.
But
I think I'd rather have a Billy
A
Sims
Sims-
number 20.
Yeah, Sims jersey would be sweet, but
Yeah.
yeah,
don't know.
they just don't. Yeah, I'm thinking specifically of football, like with the Lions specifically. There's not a whole lot of jerseys that
You
you,
know,
could see hanging around 20 years from now outside of Barry's.
I
You
was
could
a
go
lo-
Joe Schmidt or Pat Swilling, number 56. I
Oh.
mean,
Well,
remember that asshole asking him to bring that out of retirement? Pat Swilling, when he came over,
was he 50? He was number 56.
56. Yes. And he
That
asked
was the
Joe
big
Schmidt if
trade.
he could,
Who do we lose out not drafting?
Willie Rowe.
Willie Rowe, the lineman, yeah.
The son of a bitch was a left tackle for like 14 years.
For New Orleans, yeah.
God. I'll just pass on him and take Pat Swilling in the twilight of his career.
Yeah.
I
Brutal.
don't remember that specifically, but just another line of Lions failures, I suppose.
Mhm.
Yeah. Speaking of athletics, the comments are starting to trickle in on Big E's workout video. on the book, which you're not on the book, Jay. But I was looking at a few of them this morning, and a lot of support for Big E.
You must read
A
support.
lot of respect for Big E.
I was gonna say, I don't know.
noticed that on Twitter. There were several remarks as well.
Yeah,
Probably along similar lines, but go ahead.
they start with stuff like his dad should have pulled out. Just saying, pathetic. Tara says,
Where's the
I
support?
think pathetic is the word, man.
yeah,
That's what kept coming back to me when I experienced that and watched it again. I'm like, God, it's just pathetic.
yeah.
Dude has zero strength.
I like the aerobic studio. Too bad Jay's flip phone records on low def. Gaff would whoop my ass too. I'm fat.
Yeah, that wasn't my phone. That was E's phone.
Yeah,
Wow,
but
there's
it was
It actually got better when I opened the garage door.
right. I
Did you
mean,
notice that at the end?
yes, is that they were both off iPhones, and mine's the i5. I mean,
it was
what
the
is.
lighting, man. When I opened the garage door, it
Okay.
got way better.
Yeah,
um
'cause I load that in high def. By the way, that's in as high quality as I can do on my phone. So
this was the most pathetic fucking thing I've ever seen. Biggie, you have got to be the most pathetic pussy on the planet. Unreal. I can't get over him. I'm not even talking about the strength part of it. Your effort level was so bitch. Total pussy.
I mean, this guy is such a total pussy. It's stunning.
Wow. Just wow. If you didn't know why he never scores, this says it all. Gab was thinking it's because of people like this that I do what I do.
I always love, dude. My favorite comment over anything always refers to the idea of get it like. This is why he doesn't score. I always want to know this guy's team photo. I want to see his record of ladies. And
Yeah.
also,
Nobody can do what I do.
and also,
Yeah,
I
you're a
don't
world
care.
champion.
Also, I don't care. But
I'm a champion. It's crazy, isn't it?
He looked most comfy during the shake weight exercise. Go
Definitely.
figure. This made me laugh so hard. If I didn't know the show better, I would have assumed this was scripted. I think that's a fair thing that people would have thought this is a joke.
Yeah.
But one can't write comedy this good. Best video yet by E. That is Arnold. And I won't say anything about Ga in respecting Jay, but I think we all know what I'm thinking. Well done, sir.
Gracias.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ. My man has the athletic prowess of a box turtle, a gay one at that. whole lot, a whole lot of limp wristedness going on.
It was the box jump that got me, man. I love the 2 box jump attempts there.
It's the head, the limp neck.
Yes, there's
thing that
no
does it.
strength at all. There's absolutely no strength in his body. So when he jumps rope, you see his body just coming apart. He's like one of those, I don't know, guys, one of those toys where you stretch it out and the limbs are like attached by
Stretch Armstrong, was it?
No, I can't think of what I'm thinking of, but I
We
can
all
picture
remember
this.
that toy. It stretches. fucking
Yeah,
arms.
but it's different. It's like you stretch the limb and there's an elastic band in there that goes and you can like
oh,
manipulate. That's
yeah.
how he's just loose.
Yeah.
Everything's loose. There's no strength to just keep it together. Man.
Yeah.
Just jump.
I don't have a lot of that either, so I can't rag on him too much, but I feel like I could look better than he did.
Only thing better about that video would have been had you been right alongside him, Mike.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have. I wouldn't do that to myself, though. I give him credit for at least having the balls to put that on video and post it, because there's a lot of people who will make fun of that video who would look a whole lot maybe not even as good as E did. But anyway,
Well, I've gotten a lot of email and messages and shit that kind of suggests that, like, look, I'm no, Adonis either, but
yeah,
I know I could do better.
well,
than
maybe they
that.
should
That's what
make
I
a video of themselves and they should post that video.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
one email where the guy wants to challenge you. So
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm not doing a challenge again. I'm done
for
with
charity,
challenges.
for charity.
Unless a charity is
Big
going to
E.
the Eric Fady charity. Like,
I'm
no,
again.
no,
This whole thing worries me when I worries about the marathon that's coming up that we're
you
doing.
shouldn't worry about
oh,
that.
you guys
That's
will
the
do
thing.
fine
Because
You
I've
guys
got
are gonna
my
do great.
gout, I've got your ineptitude, and I've got
But you're
your
not dealing with. But dude, you're
lack
not,
of-
unwillingness to participate.
yeah.
Jay, you're not dealing with that the marathon. We're not doing a marathon of like tough man competition. You're doing a.
Oh yeah,
I
that's right. You can run like a gazelle.
You're right. I
Okay.
just ran 5 miles yesterday.
but you couldn't jump 100 times.
So what
I
though?
don't-
But that's not what the marathon is.
Hmm.
The marathon is a
Yeah.
running race, not
Yeah.
a. Okay, well,
He's got you there.
I mean, I literally ran.
I
what am
guess
gonna-
I'll have to see it because
what
I'm just
what did I
starting to
say?
doubt.
What did I say we were gonna run? I was gonna run 7 of the leg. I just did 5 yesterday.
Well, anyway, if you want to see the video, go to YouTube, search the Detroit Cast. You'll see it on our channel. It's definitely worth a watch. Seeing Big E work out with Gab. So, what a game last night. If you watched, I don't know how many of us actually watched the game. I started to watch it before I fell asleep, just because we have to get up so early to do this.
Of
But
course, you're referring to the national championship game.
Yes.
Villanova v. UNC.
does anyone know where Villanova is?
Philadelphia, is it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Or as E would say, Villanueva. Yeah.
But came down to a buzzer beater. That's all you can ask for in one of those championship games. A little buzzer beater action
Yeah.
for Villanova to win it. And so always good to see North Carolina go down too.
Definitely is. They're one of those teams like Duke. Just
Yeah,
gross.
yeah. Should we listen to some of the game calls?
Yeah, I like this. Got a few lined up. Different, obviously, different sources. Different Villanova announcer versus UNC announcer versus Spanish announcer. It's funny,
they do the
different ones.
Spanish announcer.
I don't.
That's always fun.
Well, what do you want to? I mean, you want to scroll on? You guys decide which one to pick.
North Carolina Homer, is that
No, I'll go to the next one. Do one of the Villanova ones.
Villanova
You're gonna go
Homer?
ape shit.
So are we looking at
Sure, play that one. True TV Villanova Homer announcers Scott Graham and Brian Finneran.
Let's take a quick look and see if these things go what. Come on, baby.
Arcidiacono, ball in his hand. Arcidiacono for Jenkins for the win.
Yes. When your announcers are yelling,
Yes! National champions.
dude.
God, what a feeling.
And then I guess the refs, as they do, they go to center court and check, make sure that he hit it in time. Like, dude, with all the streamers and confetti, what are you going to do? You're going to take 20 minutes to clean that shit off the court if that doesn't go off in time.
How awesome would that be if they went, no, he didn't get it off before the buzzer. It didn't leave his fingers. They have to take an hour and a half to clear off the court and go to overtime. Yeah, let's take a look. Make sure he got it off in time.
Got Villanova Nation going crazy.
That's pretty much what happened that time in the hockey. Remember with the Buffalo when they had the guys back when your skate couldn't be in the crease.
Oh, Brett Hall.
Yeah, and he got the goal, and they were all sort of celebrating, and they're kind of just like, oh well.
God, what a shot!
What a look too.
Oh, what a tournament! It's just a great sports spectacle, man.
Yeah. What else do we got?
I mean, I can
go with the Spanish one.
Yeah, let's see how it went in Spain.
It's here, Antonio.
Lanolda. That's Spain.
Yeah.
See, this is the one below.
It is the one below. Okay.
No podía estar. Bueno, última posesión para ganar un título. Arcidiácono, sigue Arcidiácono, se le va a jugar Jenkins. ¡Sí!
¡Sí! ¡Sí! ¡Gol! ¡Gol!
Pero ¿qué es esto? ¿Hay rebobinado? ¿Pero qué es esto? ¿Pero qué acabamos de ver? Pero no.
Mr. I don't give a shit about North Carolina.
Roy Williams.
Yeah.
¿Pero qué narices es esto?
Yeah, some coaches you just dig watching lose, don't you?
Yeah. He's one of them.
Dude, every other language, I don't know if it's just we're used to English, but every other language you watch sports sounds so much more exciting because it's so fast. I don't know. They tell you, it's just like, I don't know. To me,
what's Russia sound like?
I don't know. I always feel like other languages sound.
Дмитрий Донской.
Момент. Ну, поехали. 5 секунд на решение судьбы. Райан Арчидиакона. Хороший заслон. Крис Дженкинс на победу. Приносит Вилланове победу в чемпионате.
Was that Raleigh Massimino?
What's that?
Was that Raleigh Massimino they were just showing the Olympia?
I'm not sure. I didn't see it.
He's the coach of the 84 team that beat
Oh,
Georgetown.
probably. That 84, that was a big upset win too, wasn't it?
Beat Ewing and the Hoyas.
God, I was thinking Ewing was that he must have been the senior then, or did he win it his senior year?
I don't know that he won it.
Yeah,
I thought he came out after that.
I would have thought he would have been in the pros by 84. Obviously not.
I'm 99.9% sure it was 84.
I'm sure you're right.
That's really one of the first tournament runs I remember, man.
Yeah, the Running Rebels.
Yeah, they were after that.
Yeah.
God, those teams. Yeah, UNLV Running Rebels. Oh,
yeah, fun,
killer.
Any other ones we want to listen to? They all kind of the same.
Yeah, they're all kind of the same. But I guess we have to announce our winner of the Detroit Cast.
I'm going to donate my winnings, Jay.
Yeah, no, you came in tied. Both your brackets came in tied for
first
57th.
and second. Oh,
57.
57.
Yeah.
Wow.
Out of the four of us, Kadog got 18th. A nice showing.
Nice job, Kadog.
Kadog is the luckiest guesser out of the four of us.
Right. Well, he's the biggest sports fan out of the group too, so it makes sense that Kadog would represent the team well.
That's like the secretary winning.
Yeah, really. No, so this is how it went. Kadog came in 18th. I came in 43rd. Mike, you came in tied for 57th with yourself, and E came in 64th.
Ooh.
The winner of our pool, congratulations to Skip Shelton.
Ah, Mr. Shelton, of course.
Skip wins it with Mike Hampton coming in second, Paul in third, Chris in fourth, DTRBM in sixth, Craig Backus in seventh. So some familiar names at the top there. Well done, gentlemen.
Congratulations, fine sirs.
So Skip, why don't you send us an email and let us know your contact, if that's your real name, Skip.
Yeah. Any real Skips of the world out there?
I don't know.
Bailey.
I
Is
know
that his real name?
I know
Skip
it
Bailey.
Chip, so I know
Skip Bayless.
No, isn't that his?
Yeah, it's Bayless.
Okay, well, whatever.
Skip Bailey.
I know chips exist, so Skips probably do.
Skips and chips. Yeah.
SKIP with that.
Is it short for Skippered?
Skippard.
Anyway, well, congratulations, sir. We appreciate everybody for jumping in the pool. And
yeah, I kind of went dark on it after that dark moment in time.
Dude, every person that I know that went to state
just ignored the tournament
overnight. Just went, fuck it all. Like the biggest basketball fans on the planet for the last 15 years, as long as Michigan State's been great, almost immediately just turned off the TV and was like, fuck the whole tournament. Like it wasn't just
I gave
you.
up on sports.
Well, yeah, but
total.
Yeah, this is just kind of the last straw. You kind of gave up on sports a long time ago in a lot of respects.
I have to admit that's probably true, Mike, if I'm being honest with myself and you and the listeners.
You're looking forward to the Tiger season.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to like live or die by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just looking forward to some baseball.
Yeah. Baseball is fun. That's the one sport where you don't even have to be into the game. You can just go enjoy a day at the park, have a beer, dog.
Indeed.
And enjoy. So I'm looking forward to that too. And home opener is what, Friday? For the weekend series with New York. So that'll be fun. Ted Cruz has finally Ted Cruz. I'm gonna win this nomination. Nerd! I hate that guy. I can't stand him either. He's so hateable. That video yesterday was just brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know that we did it justice trying to describe it because so much of it is just looking at him.
Yeah, it's on the post, by the way.
Say,
I don't know if we mentioned that, but that video is attached to our show post. So.
Yeah. It's like a 4-minute video, and you just see how scripted they all are. And
it's no wonder that entire races hate ours.
You see white people?
Like, you see white people like that. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, it pains me to see her with her sweater tied around her neck.
The biggest,
the kids in their
stupid collar, just so.
Dude, the hugging and the praying didn't bother me as much as walking downtown when they were walking downtown, like whatever New Hampshire town that
bothered
was.
me.
Every hair is just perfectly in place,
just coiffed. The kids with their perfect white Sunday bests on as they walk down the street, hand in hand. You'd want to punch them in the face if you stumbled across this dork ass family walking down the street. And knowing that it's not real, it's like this is what's being done. This is what's best. Like his mom's rolling her eyes halfway through that video, like whatever. Okay, another take of me pretending to give a shit about this kid, Ted Cruz of mine.
Yeah, way to connect with the people, man. You put your family out like that. Like, who lives like that, man?
That has to change at some point. Doesn't it have to like backfire?
I think.
I mean, you just can't be. I understand like it's like have no controversy. Let's just be perfect.
What do you hate more than hypocrisy? You know, isn't that the most annoying thing to people?
Yeah,
people can get over some faults and realize, I mean, it makes you relatable if you're open about your faults and who you are.
Yeah.
Granted, obviously you have to make yourself look good. You're running for president. But man, like Lily White like that, that's just brutal, man.
Yeah, it's boring, it's stock, and it's if you've lived any life on this planet, you know how impossible it is to be perfect. Like just the fact that you're a human means you're not going to be perfect. You're going to fuck up, and trying to come off as perfect.
Set yourself up on that pedestal. You're going to have a tough fall, man, because you've got something in your past.
Yes.
Everybody does.
And the story today is about Ted Cruz. Apparently, his phone number is in this black book used by the notorious DC Madam.
Oh,
shit! That's the allegations, and they're reportedly included in the 15,000 pages of phone numbers dating back a couple decades. The allegations come after Cruz was accused of cheating on his wife Heidi and having had the 5 mistresses.
Heidi Time.
Yeah, Heidi Tyne, man.
Oh my darling.
Oh my darling.
Even after those calls, those singing on the phone, he still was cheating on her.
Well, so they say. He's going to deny it. Of course, he says he claims this is complete garbage, but declined to say that he had never cheated on his wife until Monday. He finally told Fox News, "I have been faithful to my wife." The DC Madam Deborah Jane Palfrey operated Pamela Martin and Associates and made $2 million servicing wealthy clients more than a decade ago, or for more than a decade. At
How long have they been married? Got a couple kids who are like, what, 6 and 4 or something?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. So she ended up hanging herself. Not Heidi Tyne, obviously, but Heidi had her moment. Remember on the side of the road?
No. What?
Remember when Heidi had that? Wasn't it Heidi Tyne that had the episodic breakdown on the side of the road and was hauled in? And
I have no idea.
Yeah, look it up. I think Ted Cruz's wife had like a meltdown on the side of a Texas highway at one point, like
bitching at a cop and stuff.
No, like I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, freaking out, crying. And
I married Ted Cruz.
I married a vampire. Oh my God. I married the Dark Lord. What am I doing? I'm almost positive
that guy enters me.
Yeah. Look it up, E. At the time of her arrest in 2006, her escorts had slept with officials in the White House, the Pentagon, lobbyists, high-powered lawyers. She ended up hanging herself before she could go to jail. She was looking at 55 years. Her black book has been circulating on the internet for years, but now Radar Online claims that Cruz's number was among those listed. The black book has resurfaced because Montgomery Blair Sibley, a former lawyer for Palfrey, is trying to lift a gag order preventing him from releasing the phone records over which he has custody. So he's got custody of his old client's book, wants to release it to the media, and he's fighting in court over that. He wants to make them public because if you remember this story, originally a few months ago, Jay, when they were talking about the DC Madam's black book, and he said it would have stuff that would affect the presidential race this year.
That's right, man.
Remember that story?
Speculating who it was.
So we were saying that
it's Trump.
Well, we figured maybe Trump, but that didn't seem as it was like, yeah,
salacious.
Trump, yeah. But we were thinking maybe Hillary and some dykey thing.
That's right.
She went to the DC Madam to find a lesbo. But they're saying it was Ted Cruz. Radar Online is saying the mystery man has got to be Ted Cruz. He told Fox News, "I have never cheated on my wife."
He was married in 2001, by the way.
2001. Okay. But this would still be, paying for hookers, which if you're trying to be this perfect,
it's not good, Mike. It's not ideal.
And then he did what typical lawyers do. He was asked by another media outlet a couple weeks ago, point blank, have you ever been unfaithful to your wife? And he was like, these stories are garbage. And Donald Trump's henchmen. It's like, no, Jay, have you ever been unfaithful to Gab?
No.
Ask me the same
Moreover,
about Beth.
These stories are garbage.
Like, if someone asked me, have you ever cheated on Beth? I could look them dead in the eye and go, no. I wouldn't have to go, I don't know who these individuals are making up this pack of lies about my relationship with my beautiful girlfriend, Beth. This is an outrage. These henchmen need to be like, no. The simple answer is no. I haven't.
No place in the political process.
You can dig all you want. You're not going to find anyone to come out and go, yeah, I was banging him while he was dating this girl. And I'm quite confident I'm going to find the same to be true. And believe me, I've looked for the people in your past, Jay, that I could sour your good name with. And I'm striking cold. I'm not finding anything.
No.
I was thinking though, why is it that I don't care? Like Donald Trump cheated on Ivana 30 years ago, whatever it was. Why do I not care so much about that?
Because of the hypocrisy, the idea that Cruz is holding himself up as this great guy, this stringent, conservative Christian guy. And that's the big problem with the right-wing Christian politician, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something in their past. Nobody's perfect.
I know it's
up the standard.
I know it's a small thing, but I always go back to the story of the girl that did softcore porn that had to yank from the commercials.
Yeah.
And it was like that. It just seemed to me like a perfect opportunity to come out and go, look, hey, as humans, we all do dumb things. We all do things in our past that we're not proud of. And 10, 15 years ago, this woman did something. We're glad to have her on Team Cruise. She's a good supporter, and just go we forgive her. We're not going to hold her down and shame her for eternity for something in her past.
No, he's playing from the right-wing conservative playbook, though.
Right.
The easy play is just yank it.
Which
She's a bad person.
Going forward, I don't know how well that playbook is
not going to play well.
It's not, right?
Yeah. People are not. This country is growing way less conservative. And you look at 20 years ago, and that might have played. But, man, come on. You look socially, things are just way, way, way more liberal. The social issues that were there 10, 15, 20 years ago are off the table. The slope has been slippery in terms of a lot of the
careful.
No offense to our Asian
listeners. Yeah.
No, man, they're just not the issues anymore, and people are willing to forget these things that 20 years ago were no way. Gayness, oh my god, somebody's gay.
Yeah.
Well, now it's
someone's gay.
Somebody's
Smithers
gay.
is gay for Christ's sake.
Yeah, Smithers came out the other day. I mean, come on. This stuff just isn't going to hold. So you've got this whole generation of guys like my dad who are these right-wing conservatives, God bless them, but that's just not where the country is, man. And this isn't going to play. And I know there's pockets around the country that would completely disagree, and pockets in Texas that are really down south and things like that. But, dude, country overall, I don't know how that play wins anymore.
But that, I think you shift away from those hardcore, super right-wing, like religious nuts. Because there are plenty of conservatives who don't necessarily follow a lot of that stuff.
Well, you're making the distinction.
Yeah,
social conservatism versus economic policy and shit.
Yeah,
I'm talking about socially. Like, the country's just not there anymore, man.
Yeah. So what do you do?
If you want to be a winning politician, I think you move more to the middle.
Yeah. I know most people would look at me and go, you don't sound conservative with a lot of my views. And I don't really care about a lot of conservative issues, but I can't get past the pandering to small groups of people that the Democrats live by. Like, that's the hang up that I have.
Yeah,
I don't care.
You hate Democrats more than you like Republicans.
Yes. Like I just can't get past the whole, like, this idea of the federal government can do for you what you can't do for yourself. Like, America is pretty straightforward in the way it is, that you have the opportunity to do anything you want in life. You just got to go do it. And there's no amount of well, as a politician, I'm going to make sure your school is paid for, and I'm going to make sure that you have a job waiting for you. Like it doesn't work like that. There's going to be a low class, there's going to be a high class, and it's somewhere in between. But pandering to the people to make them believe that you can magically make all their problems go away from the federal government is laughable.
But it's a great message, though, because people at the top feel this guilt for being at the top. And they go, yeah, we should help the people on the bottom. And the people on the bottom go, yeah, man, I'd love a handout.
Yeah.
So it really works along the whole spectrum of people pretty well. It's a tough one to get by unless you're sticking, like you say, to just basic principles, fundamentals about what this country is made of. You know, hey, it's hard work. It's not, it's personal responsibility and hard work and getting to the top and breaking down those barriers yourself and getting there rather than just taking handouts.
Remember the parties going on in the country in 2008, the dancing in the streets when people thought they were all getting free housing and free phones.
Right. You see how that worked out, man?
Yeah, it didn't. It's not possible. It's not possible. But did you find anything on
You're right. I can't find the video on it, but you're definitely right.
I don't know that there's video on it.
Okay, yeah.
What's the story of Ted Cruz's wife? I know there was something that happened.
She broke down something.
God, I never heard about that.
The cops thought she was Heidi. The incident happened in 2005, shortly after Heidi quit her high-powered job at the White House, moved to Austin, Texas, to be with her husband. Police responded to a 911 call about a woman in a pink shirt sitting next to an expressway and found Miss Cruz sitting on the ground 10 feet from speeding traffic with her head in her hands. The story of
boy.
I know it says at one point here the cops thought she was in danger to herself. I have the looks like
sitting on the side of the freeway, dude. That's someone contemplating like, can I go on living with this vampiric individual, or do I just saunter into traffic at this point?
It looks like this is text. I said when I asked why she was sitting
Definitely
next to
Texas.
I said text or something. But looked like she was asked when asked why she was sitting next to Mopac. I don't know if that's a road or not. Cruz stated that she had walked away from her home on nearby Hartford, and that she had been walking around the area. Cruz also said, then there's some blacked out stuff here, unfortunately, I guess.
Ooh, the good stuff. Redacted stuff.
But she was definitely like they thought that she was a threat to herself for sure.
Damn. Yeah. That doesn't happen to everybody.
It happens to plenty of people, but when you're trying to be lily white in everything you do.
Yes.
Anyway, there's other stuff. Another story out from a report in New York Magazine is shedding light on Donald Trump and his outs with Fox News. And this reporter, Gabriel Sherman, says that Trump has insider information on the news network that has kept Roger Ailes, who is the CEO of Fox News, from declaring outright war against him. In 2014, Sherman wrote a biography on Ailes titled The Loudest Voice in the Room, a book so damaging it led Ailes to firing his PR advisor, Brian Lewis. He said that Lewis must have been the anonymous source for the book to have all these inside stories. When he was fired, Lewis went on a rampage threatening to drop bombs that would destroy both Ailes and Fox News. It was then that he hired a powerhouse attorney, Judd Burstein, to represent him in severance negotiations with Fox News. That's when Trump got involved. When Roger was having problems, he didn't call 97 people. He called me. Roger Ailes had lawyers, very expensive lawyers, and they couldn't do anything. I solved the problem. So Trump ran the meetings out of his office. His office is in Trump Tower. And in the end, Fox paid millions to keep Lewis quiet. But all the dirt, apparently, that was disclosed in this meeting, Trump was there for. So he knows all this shit about Roger Ailes and Fox News, whatever that is.
And so he like mediated some sort of resolution between the higher ups,
two parties. Yeah, that's what they're claiming. Trump learned everything Lewis had planned to leak. If Ailes ever truly went to war against Trump, Trump would have the arsenal to launch a retaliatory attack. That might explain why Fox News has strangely restrained from when Trump first attacked Megyn Kelly. They were accused of kind of lightly going after him, but not real hard. And a lot of critics have said that, like, why haven't they gone after them? I figured they didn't like Megyn Kelly that much, but
well, they also have the interest of they're the main right wing side of the media, and they have the interest of wanting this guy to come on their shows and do their stuff. I know it's gross. He can be cleaned up.
I wouldn't even think that's legal.
They want him to come on their shows and do their shit, and he could completely just blacklist them and not pay attention to them. So that could be it. This could be total speculation, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting take, though. I've never read the book personally, but and then Huma, your favorite.
Oh, I hate this shit.
You love Huma. Come on.
Huma. Of course, Anthony Weiner's wife.
Who?
Huma Aberdeen.
Oh, you mean Carlos Danger?
Yes, Carlos.
I was gonna say, I don't know who Anthony Weiner is.
Yeah,
you'd recognize his Wiener.
Well, I know him as Carlos Danger, and that Weiner is Carlos.
I'm sure you've exchanged some texts with Mr. Weiner.
Oh, that dumb son of a! Think about that. He's trying to tweet, like, do a personal message, like he's going to tweet Biggie his heart on, and he actually tweets it to everybody instead. Just a rager. I mean, the blood is just flowing to the helmet. It's glistening in purple, and he's just like, bang, takes a picture of it and tweets it to tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
To his constituents.
Oh,
just following him on Twitter.
Twitter's rough too,
just
man.
Follow my congressman.
Can you imagine?
Oh, what does Congressman Weiner have to? Oh my goodness!
Oh my word!
I don't know if the person with the voice you described is checking her Twitter feed on a regular basis. Like,
she only follows a couple congressmen.
My Twitter.
Huma spoke about meeting Hillary for the first time in an interview. She did a podcast, actually, the Call Your Girlfriend podcast. You know, these things that happen in your life that just stick. She walked by and she shook my hand and our eyes connected. And I just remember having this moment where I thought, wow, this is amazing.
Oof.
It just inspired me. I still remember the look on her face. I remember thinking, oh my God, she's so beautiful. She's so tiny, or she's so little. Dude, Jay, you're a nice guy. But I would never, ever in a million years go, yeah, I got to tell you, man, the first time I met Jay, our eyes locked. And, man.
Something. Sparks.
Wow. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
As soon as Jay walked in and shook my hand, our eyes connected. I just remembered having this moment. I thought, wow, this is amazing. It just inspired me. Meeting Jay for the first time really inspired me. I still remember the look on his face. I remember thinking, oh my God, he's so beautiful and so tall. No guy could have that conversation about another dude, right?
Right.
Are these two scissoring? They're scissoring.
Yeah.
Clinton's top aide, Abedin, also said she was terrified by the release of her boss's emails, especially since she is on many of the exchanges. It's something I really can't think about, but I can't even imagine what's in those emails. I would probably be mortified. I have no idea. I haven't read any of them. I have a policy. I never read anything about myself. I could count on one hand how many actual interviews I've done. I'll never read them. I just don't want to know. If it's about me personally, I honestly just ignore it.
Denial.
Yeah. Well, I get that. That is a weird thing. It's hard to listen back to conversations we have on this show, you know. I think that if my boss quit tomorrow, she will go down as one of the greatest women in the history of the world. Oh, really? I know she's committed to making people's lives better.
Jeez.
It's just amazing that this unbelievably adept female politician would happen to have been married to a prior president. Isn't that
remarkable?
God, what are the chances of that?
That the two
most unbelievable presidents, possibly in our history, just incredible leaders, found each other like that.
Yeah,
married each other and just started. Yeah,
it's remarkable, isn't it?
Wow.
Well, they do say you meet most people in the workforce, Jay.
Right. Out of 350 million people in this country or whatever, those are the two.
It's crazy.
So
and Bush and his son.
I know, that's the other thing
that's
too.
just amazing. Wow.
Right.
You know, you had
nobody else was qualified that year. Nobody.
It's former president's son turns out to be the best
perfect guy to run the free world.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's remarkable.
Coincidental.
In 2013, Weiner decided to run for mayor of New York City. Also agreed to be filmed for a documentary about his return to politics. I can't wait for that documentary. Wasn't it at Sundance this summer or this winter? Yeah, there's a whole documentary about the Weiner scandal when his dick pics came out.
Yes, you're right.
They were filming, and even the documentary makers were like, I can't believe he's still letting us film this shit right now while this absolute tornado is going on in his personal life. He's still letting the cameras roll. What is with this guy? I can't wait to see it. He announced he would run in May, but 2 months later came more allegations that he continued to sext after he resigned from Congress, and that was when he started using Carlos Danger.
Mm-hmm.
He found a way around the system so that no one would be able to tie Anthony Weiner to the problems. He'd just go with Carlos Danger.
Ron Mexico was taken.
Yeah. Abedin spoke about their relationship during the interview, saying, I think that a marriage really only works in any situation, whether you're in politics or not, if one partner is fully supportive of the other. It's often a little more challenging when you're in politics because your private life, and I think everybody craves their own privacy. And so I think your private life is displayed to the world in a way that you otherwise wouldn't have to deal with it. If one spouse is a private person, the other person is in politics, blah, 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 blah. But I think it works if you fully support each other, no matter what the other person does. Be a tough one to get over, man.
So what's the deal? He does his thing with his wiener, and then all's forgiven by Huma and all that shit. And then he comes back and tries to run again. Yeah. Wasn't he running for mayor of New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he gets caught again with his dick out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got through that. I think he went away for a year.
Yeah.
Carefully, Jesus.
He seek counseling.
Yeah, I think a committee was formed to help him through these troubling times.
Findings.
Yeah, and then he was coming back, and I think he was actually doing okay. Like he was doing okay. Run for mayor.
Was that when he had was that him that had the thing in the coffee shop or something? Or yeah.
Some guy confronted him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, Wiener.
Right.
What's up with showing your wiener on Twitter all the time? He went nuts, right?
Yeah, he got all mad at the guy.
And that was in his second run, right? That's when he was making his second run.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sure that moment will be in the documentary.
Yeah.
But then when the second it was like, hey, he's worked so hard to get through this, and he's a great family man now. I think he'd been married less than a year when that shit started.
Yeah.
Like, you're done, dude. If you can't make it through the first year without texting your dick to a bunch of chicks. Not good. Not good. Anyway,
the ween.
Yeah. Have you followed this story in the Panama Papers?
You know, I've read a little bit about it. People are hiding money.
Yeah.
I don't know that's.
I know
that groundbreaking.
Dude, this is a huge story about elected officials, top leaders who are hiding their money in the Bahamas.
What?
They're calling it the Panama Papers, and there's all kinds of salacious names and hundreds of millions and billions of dollars they're talking about. But I look at the story and I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like,
right.
What is the what is the
here?
breaking news here? Like
offshore bank accounts. Oh,
yeah, offshore bank accounts, exactly, and
avoiding taxes.
Yeah, tax evasion, offshore bank account. Like,
that's what you do when you get rich, right? I thought
we've talked about this forever. Like, and I guess the story here is that there's finally proof of this kind of behavior, which I don't know.
Yeah, I guess there's a certain law firm that was setting up shell companies, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, what was it? 60 Minutes did a piece on that not long ago, talking about lawyers who were setting, and they wanted to see how many of them would help set up shell companies around the world. And most of the lawyers, most of these high-end New York lawyers, there were a couple of them that were like, you know what? This is shady shit, dude, and I don't want anything to do with it. Thanks for coming, but no thanks.
Was that show like What Would You Do, or was that just
no? I think it was 60 minutes. I thought it was just 60 minutes.
You're right.
They got the "What would you do" guy walking up to lawyers.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That was 60.
Usually it's like, somebody doesn't push in their bar stool and the guy runs up. Oh, what would you do? Would you push that in for him? No, that's when they're running up to high-priced New York lawyers. What would you do? Would you set up an offshore account? Come on.
You're right.
I need an attorney. And I need one.
Well, I knew I'd watched it. I don't watch 60 Minutes all the time, but I do watch that. What would you do? So that's why I thought that, I guess.
Yeah, and so it was sad to watch a lot of these lawyers like, all right, here's what we need to do. We need to set up a company over here. I mean, it was just like they knew what the drill was. Mossack Fonseca is the, however you pronounce that, is the name of the offshore law firm that was handling this. The list of people tied to offshore activities includes 140 politicians from more than 50 countries, 12 current or former heads of state, with links to this Panama law firm, including Vlad Putin. Remember that guy that was part of his team that was murdered?
Yeah.
They're saying maybe that was tied to some of this shit.
Yeah, he was like his right-hand man for a while, and he was found in a New York apartment or hotel or something, dead, and natural causes or something, and they find blunt force trauma to the head.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that one.
Natural causes.
These guys are good at keeping their name out of it. Like Putin's name doesn't appear on this stuff, but his associates are cited frequently as having profited from or participating in sprawling network of secretive financial dealings. World-class cellist Sergei Roldugin, a friend of Putin's.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
God, yeah.
It's one of my favorite cellists.
I just was listening to him recently on Pandora.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Great.
Reports say that the existence of a clandestine network operated by Putin associates that has shuffled at least $2 billion through banks and offshore companies. The files describe almost...
Wow, the Russian leadership is crooked.
Yeah.
Breaking news, everybody.
Including there was one for the right. One of his allies had rights to, including the rights to a $200 million loan that were sold for $1. I'll give it to you for $1. God, I want to be accused of this. Why can't I have offshore bank accounts? Jay, what do we got to do to get some offshore bank accounts?
Make money.
I don't know. There's pretty much, it seems like a simple answer.
It seems
have a lot
like
more money.
Nobody gets in trouble for any of this shit. I want to have that. I want to sell $200 million rights for $1 to someone, to friend. Take care of your friend. Lionel Messi, I guess, was tied up in this as well.
Lionel,
is it Lionel? Looks like Lionel Trains.
Oh, Lionel. Hey, Lionel.
Your favorite king, the Saudi king, Salman bin Abdulaziz bin Abdullah Rahman Al Saud.
What?
Was also tied up. He's your favorite king, Jim or Jay. Saudi king Salman bin Abdulaziz bin Abdullah Rahman Al Saud.
Awesome.
Yeah, that guy is mixed up in this somehow as well.
House of Saud.
Yeah. Chinese President Xi Jinping. So anyway, I don't know what Lionel Messi did, but Lionel, his father Jorge held an offshore company called Megastar Enterprises that Mossack
Megastar Enterprises
Fonseca registered in 2012.
That sounds like something that just sounds like a made up name, obviously.
Yeah, well, they've been accused of tax evasion.
Not Megastar Enterprises.
No.
Yeah,
I expect a little more from Megastar Enterprises, to be honest. A little more on the up and up at Megastar.
Megastar. It's pretty obnoxious.
Hey, are you planning on moving to Canada if the presidential candidate you voted for doesn't win? Get your passport ready and let Krista Jelski sell your home. Krista will get you out of here before Inauguration Day. Check out Krista's website at KristaSellsHouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900.
Did you hear about the woman chained to the stripper pole here in Detroit?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's what authorities stumbled upon, they say, when they had a raid at a house in Detroit. House of Horrors tale is unfolding in federal court, with prosecutors accusing one man of enslaving women, selling them for sex on the internet, and hurting children by explicitly taking photos of them. The case started with West Bloomfield police. Seems like a weird tie into a case like that, doesn't it? They were investigating identity theft crimes, but turned into something much bigger when officers raided this home a few weeks ago and found a woman chained by the neck to a pole. Holy shit. They would eventually uncover a sex trafficking operation that said that the man advertised the women on the internet, offering them for sex. Men would show up at the house and pick which one they liked, but they had to pay this dude in cash first. The suspect is a kid named Ryan Travis. He's E's age, 32 years old, unemployed guy with 7 children. Give E that. At least he hasn't spit out a bunch of kids.
He
hasn't reproduced. It could be way worse.
I wonder by how many mothers that is. I'm sure it's by one.
Yeah, probably a committed relationship.
Yeah.
They're just not ready to get married
right.
yet. They're on fiance.
Yeah.
He doesn't have custody of any of them technically, but doesn't mean he's not financially supportive.
He's trying.
It didn't work out with the wife. He claims that 4 of the women are his wives that were in the house that he was selling. Among them is there's this 25-year-old chick who was found chained to a stripper pole in the living room of the house. When asked why she was trained, he says, I was about to get busy with her and shit, or I was about to get freaky with her. That's what he told cops. It's not a bad line.
It's pretty much the only line you can go with, right?
Yeah, I mean, if a cop's busting your door and you've got a chick chained to a pole in your living room,
seriously, that's
the only thing you can say.
Yeah,
she's into that shit. We're into that shit.
We into some freaky shit and shit. In U.S. District Court yesterday, Travis pleaded not guilty at his arraignment. He was under investigation by the West Bloomfield police for fraud and ID theft when officers executed a search warrant. During the search warrant, they seized 2 cell phones, both of which the women said belonged to Travis. That's where they found porn images of children younger than 12 on his phones, including multiple images of an adult male having sex with a young girl while she was lying on a blue and white sheet, which they also found in the house, this distinctive blue and white sheet, which kind of ties it there. March 21st, authorities conducted a second search at his home. That's when they found the 25-year-old woman with a heavy metal chain around her neck with a padlock attached to a stripper pole.
I don't know. The padlock might be a little hard to explain.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that you do a search on this guy's house and you find porn images and you find the blanket tying him to that, and then a couple weeks later they come back and you haven't left town or cleaned up the apartment. Instead, they find a chick padlocked to a pole. Wow, that's insane. Federal agents unchained the woman and interviewed her, and during that interview, the woman said she had lived with Travis and 3 other women for the past 3 years, or past 2 years. She said that she had been chained up for the past 2 weeks because she had tried to escape. When Travis caught her, she told authorities, "Yeah, he beat me and then he held me in bondage." She also said that Travis posted ads on the internet advertising that he had 4 women for sale, and the dudes would just come by the house and be like, "Yeah, I think I'll go with that one." Yeah. The worlds that some people are living in, right down the street. You just don't even know it. We could be at this guy's house in minutes.
Dude, yeah, you're right by West Bloomfield here.
I think he was in Detroit. But,
okay. I thought the West Bloomfield. Gotcha.
Walking amongst us.
So they would come to the house. He would just line up the 4 women and let them choose one. He took her to the bank every month when her $700 Social Security disability check arrived.
Oh, boy.
25 years old, you're getting Social Security disability. Okay.
Nice. How can I get on that?
You could.
Yeah, you
I need to
probably
look
could.
into that. If anyone knows anything about it,
Yeah, I think they'd let you in.
dude. You know what I would love to start doing? Dude, why not, dude? It's not going to be there. I'd love if I could like somehow get Social Security checks start rolling in right at this point. Like, can I get early retirement? Like, I'm not. Gonna, it's not going to be there for me. So like, why I can't go and start getting it now? Like,
that's why.
If Kyle Mayer knows how to make that happen, please contact me.
You've really fed into that Social Security system,
you've got a lot plugged in.
Whether I get, I have. I mean,
you could probably get mental disability of some
sort. Do you get
sort.
those statements every year?
Yes.
What do those statements indicate?
I put money in there.
Yeah, like $3,000 or something.
So what? I want
oh
that
my god!
I don't know what it is. I don't even remember, but I want it.
So then he would take this chick to the bank and make her cash these checks and then steal the money.
And then chain her ass up to a stripper.
Hell yes, he would. So the detention hearing, March 23rd, he tried to have his lawyer dismissed. And here's why, Jay. I don't know if you've ever run into this in court, but he says, it is against my religion to be represented by someone of another nation. So I may as well represent myself. I'm a natural born human of the American land.
There you go.
I choose not to do business with this court.
Great argument.
I love that argument. I asked that this case be dismissed,
and
Your
it was
Honor.
Dismissed promptly, no doubt.
No, not as you would think. The magistrate judge Mona Mazoub, is it?
Mazoub, I think it is.
Mazoub, do you know her?
Yeah.
Yeah. She then ordered him detained. She said, no, sorry, your request is denied, sir.
Oh, that's strange. Must have been a legal technicality.
I love the argument of, I choose not to do business with this court.
Yeah, I want to do that.
That's
too.
awesome. Has that ever worked? Could that possibly ever work? You get busted for DUI and
You're like, nah.
how do you plead? And you're like, I'm not doing business with this court.
Choose not to.
Good day. I said good day.
I'm a member of humankind.
You just walk out.
Just walk out the door. What are they going to do? I mean, I would hope that I'd get a standing ovation in the courtroom. Nothing but support. I choose not to do business with this court. Your Honor.
The other people and that are waiting are like, yeah, me too. I didn't know that was an option.
She ordered him detained. You are a danger to children. You are a danger to women. You are a danger to people who are helpless in your presence. The weight of the evidence is strong. So
seems like a general ne'er-do-well. He had everything from fraud to chaining bitches to stripper poles.
Yeah, but he's got all these kids to look after. I mean, how are you?
I mean, you're trying to feed those kids and get
Gotta
them through
respect
it.
that, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
With food on the table.
Yeah, he's got to do what a man's got to do.
That's what I've always been told is that
Put clothes on the backs of those fine individual children.
Man up and support them.
So anyway, I have a feeling that's not going to end well for him. Natural born human of the American land. I thought that argument would stick as well. So what did they try to stick him with, like a black lawyer, a Jewish lawyer or something?
And he wasn't having it.
What are you talking about?
Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, because he said he wanted
to dismiss his lawyer because he wasn't white or something.
he wasn't of his nation or
Yeah. How did he say it? Yeah, by someone of another nation. So I don't know what they gave him for a lawyer, but anyway,
just some white guy, some standard issue white guy.
Yeah. Anyway, why don't we take a quick time out? Were you happy, by the way, E? Did you watch the Simpsons episode where Smithers came out?
I had thought he actually already had, but I guess not. Yeah, I thought it was actually funny. It was a good episode.
I thought it was okay. I thought Homer on Grindr was pretty funny.
Yeah, there was a few. With Simpsons now, dude, I have moments. Actually, I watched one a few weeks ago that I really liked. But more and more now, there's just there'll be moments in episodes that are very funny, but they're not. Very little is the whole episode funny to me, but
I think it sucks kind of because it's been an ongoing joke for 20 years.
Right.
Smithers being gay, and they've just kind of danced around the whole gay thing, like he's in rainbow shorts or he's in like shit like that. Like now will just kind of be pointless because you've had to make a point to come out and declare him a homo.
I really thought he had already, honestly, but so even I sometimes don't know everything, I guess.
It's funny. The guy that wrote the episode has come out and not come out, but Rob Lazebnik, and he told the New York Post that he wrote The Burns Cage, a play on the bird cage, as a show of support for his son Johnny, who's gay. I'm a Midwestern guy, so I don't tend to wear my emotions on my sleeve, but I thought, what better way to tell my son I love him than to write a cartoon about it? How about you just sit him down and you tell your son you love him?
Right.
Better way.
How about we do that? Rob said he did not want Smithers coming out to be a comedy and overblown, but based on his own experience, when Johnny came out to him and his wife Claire, we didn't really want to have this big moment of "I'm out," you know. Instead, you have it be a big embrace, like everyone knows it. So
yeah, I don't know. It's all right.
So The Simpsons hasn't run its course, huh? Still,
I'm telling you, I watched an episode 2 weeks ago that I thought was funny all the way through. But again, I think out of 22 episodes in a season, I think they'll have 10 that I really like, and there'll be a lot that I don't.
Oh no,
but
we're talking to Superfan here. That doesn't bode well.
Yeah,
I'll watch every Sunday until
there
it's
are
done.
so much better shows. There's so many better shows out there than The Simpsons. But it's still a decent show. I find, but I like when they do shit on outside characters.
Yeah. Again, I'm telling you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like when they focus on Burns for an episode.
Yeah. They have to at this point.
Yeah, I can. You could literally kill off Lisa and Bart, and I'd be just fine with that. If you just like killed those storylines off completely, you know, that'd be an episode I'd like to see.
He's considering this deeply.
When Bart and Lisa.
Bart. I don't know.
That's pretty much what would be my answer. I could probably deal with Lisa. I don't know. I couldn't get rid of Bart still. But whatever.
Yeah, I could. If you had an intruder break in and shoot them both in their beds and kill off Bart and Lisa, I'd be cool with that. That'd be a hilarious episode. Yeah, I could do that. See single Homer out there, and yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, like I said, dude, they have moments.
Okay.
I think they have moments that I really still find very funny, but not whatever.
Yeah. So let's take a break, and we'll let you know how the world's going to end on our end. Apparently,
another one.
Yeah, apparently it's not going to go well for us here in America.
Oh no,
we're under attack. Oon's coming for you, folks.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, it's Steve Gabarra from Zod Ford and Holly, the only dealership offering 2 for $252. Right now at Zod Ford, you get 2 brand new 16 Ford F-150 4x4 Super Cabs for just $252 with $1,000 due. That's 2 trucks for just 1 payment of $252. I'll say it again, lease 2 F-150s for just 1 payment of $252 per month. Hurry to Zod Ford and Holly, home of the 2 for $252, because leasing 2 trucks for the price of 1 can't last long.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to us. Welcoming us back to the Detroit Cast.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike and Jay. Can we discuss something really quick before we get back into some stories?
Is there a matter? Some housekeeping?
Yeah, a little bit, sort of. I want to know what's going on with Big E's fingernails. Did you look at those? We were looking at
let me see, dude.
In the break. We were looking at a piece of art that Sweet Pie put together,
man.
and I just noticed his fingernails, and I was rather disgusted by him.
It bothers me so much, man. When they just get a little too long, you just start feeling greasy.
Yeah, it's a shit feeling, man.
I meant to cut them yesterday and I forgot.
It's not even so much that they're longer that bothers me, is that they're just covered in dirt underneath. It's like, were you trying to dig up Holy's grave? Is that what's going on? Were you trying to rebury Holy's body?
I don't know. No.
Dig up the dirt?
I don't know.
Do you work with enough grease and shit at work that's what that's from, or is this?
Not really.
It's just scum and funk.
I hate nails, by the way. I understand.
Again, we talked about like a lifetime haircut. How about a lifetime nail cut, man?
Lifetime nail cut would be awesome. Is there anything on the body as worthless as toenails, by the way?
Hate it. Hate them.
It is weird, isn't it?
Toenails, like, I understand the point of fingernails. Like, you want to peel a sticker or something. It helps to have.
Peel a sticker? You peel a lot of stickers, Mike?
Well, or undo a knot. You need to get that nail in there.
Why do we have nails, man?
What is the point of toenails, though?
Oh,
what's the deal? We don't climb trees with our nails. They break off immediately anyways. They're not strong enough. I hate nails.
Yes, and those are grossy. I bet if you petri dish that shit, can you imagine?
Look at the points of. Oh God, damn it!
Hey, is the audio on?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah, people missed. If they just watched the YouTube, they missed a very important revelation yesterday.
Hi, Miss Fady.
Hi, Mrs. Fady.
By the way,
did you catch any shit yesterday? Or it wasn't on the YouTube
I haven't yet,
feed, so
maybe it's almost better that way. Even I'm not trying to justify.
Yeah,
mistake,
right. Like we said, it was buried.
Yeah, you've got some curds and whey on your lip there, Jay. There you go. Get rid of your curds and whey. Nicely done. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting week as we try to dance around where Big E's going to, and keeping it from certain individuals who might not appreciate the humor involved in Big E's ventures. He's going on a venture. Going on a venture.
You like traveling.
It'll be great in the end. Everybody will be happy.
Right.
Well, all of the people listening right now and us will be happy.
Right.
As long as Big E doesn't fuck it up. It should be good.
But I won't. I'm committed to making it as good as it can be.
I've heard commitments from you before, E. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, there are many listeners out there rolling their eyes right now at a Big E promise. Just take the guy in Vegas who was gonna.
Yeah, my promise is
Adam in Vegas.
Yeah, the tattoo of the dick on his shoulder, right?
Yeah,
Never
Joey
happened.
still laughs about that as if he's listening right now. Hi, Joe, if you are. Yeah. So anyway. I don't want to say too much, I guess, but
you don't need to rehash it.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see this story about a police horse being assaulted in the aftermath of Villanova's national title celebration?
Proops?
An officer who hits a equine?
Oh man!
Honestly, what's going on in your head?
What do you mean? Where did they punch him?
They didn't say. They just said he was arrested for misdemeanor assault on a police animal.
Oh my God!
I know what it probably is. It's probably somebody chucking a bottle or something.
Oh, yeah.
I have a hard time believing someone would on purposely attack an officer.
Who would do that?
I mean, you got to treat those as a man of the law, just like you would treat a regular
doing
human.
His job.
Hell yeah.
Trying to keep peace.
Yeah. What did they go off the hinges last night in the Philly area?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Burning shit. I love everything.
Always. Burnt. Yeah. Torching the city.
Hell yeah, champion.
Speaking of torching the city, it sounds like OON is threatening to torch some cities here in America.
Whoa!
I don't know how much
stock you put in the madman's banter.
He's made yet another threat of nuke attacks on the U.S., claiming its warheads are aimed at key cities or sites in Washington, D.C., and ready to wipe the country from history.
Really?
Is what they're claiming.
Are his fat fingers going to be able to hit those buttons properly, or
pay someone to do that?
Oh, okay.
They're state-run media, which is wonderful. If you ever get a chance to watch a video of state-run media in the DPRK, it's awesome.
Have you actually done it before or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've seen little snippets of it. They're just the way they talk. It's the same chick, I think, does like all the news reports in that weird dress and the way she talks like this. It's a very good.
Will they put American or English like in there?
No,
because I would actually like to watch. I would have sit there for 20 minutes and watch it if they had our translation there.
They on state-run media, they claim that North Korean strikes would kill more American citizens than 9/11. Oh boy, yeah, leaving no time for them to even regret or have nightmares about it.
Is that some propaganda picture? What is that?
Yeah, this is part of it. So pictures of 9/11, but
it's like there should be like the word "pow" or something. It looks like from the Batman show.
Yeah,
blam.
Can they just? Yeah, dude, this is terrible. Like, can they not just
their Photoshop skills are lacking just a bit.
Kadar could destroy this as far as Photoshop skills.
Yeah, it's got like images of Americans like screaming or crying during 9/11.
Star cutout.
Yeah, they're really not good, but I mean, so this follows threats of a preemptive nuke strikes on U.S. soil and propaganda videos featuring a submarine-launched nuclear missile laying waste to Washington, D.C. Imagine those graphics are 5-star as well. If 3 civilian airplanes attacks from 15 years ago results in 3,000 deaths and brought a nightmare to life for the U.S., the outbreak of our final war will wipe the country from history, leaving no time for them to even regret or have nightmares about it. That was what they said. It also claimed that North Korea's most powerful, miniaturized, diversified weapon systems are currently aimed at the White House and Pentagon from the ground, in the air, and underwater.
God, he's an angry little man, isn't he?
He sure is.
You just sit back and be rich and shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be easy enough. He's enjoying the fruits of his wealth. I mean, you see him, the guy's gotten absolutely huge. You think I've gotten huge.
Lots of cheese.
Last Thursday, the communist state claimed it was preparing to launch a preemptive nuclear strike on the U.S. after claiming its warheads are capable of reaching Manhattan. I don't know if I believe that. In response to the U.S. frenzied hysteria for unleashing a nuclear war, we have fully transferred our army from the form of a military response to the form of delivering a preemptive strike. We state resolutely about the readiness to deliver a preemptive nuclear strike.
This is the first time I've heard of the submarine strike, though.
Yeah.
Going to sneak up on us.
The 4-minute video speeds through the history of the U.S.-Korean relations, ending with the digitally manipulated sequence showing a nuclear missile surging through the crowds, swerving back to the earth and slamming into the road in front of the Lincoln Memorial. U.S. Capitol building explodes in the impact, and a message flashes up on the screen in Korean. If U.S. imperialists budge an inch towards us, we will immediately hit them with nuclear weapons. Ooh! Little son of a bitch with his 6 gun. Just imagine, though, the only thing because everybody has the same reaction. Everybody goes, oh, that's adorable. Look at that little oon son of a bitch. That guy's hilarious. If you remember back to pre 9/11, we all kind of did the same thing with Osama bin Laden.
Little terrorist
Look at that little goat fucker in the mountains. Look at that son of a bitch go. Like you didn't think of that as a realistic threat. So that's the only thing where it's like, don't get your, how prepared are we? And how
there's a better chance of just some lone wolf terrorist shit happening than them bringing a submarine over undetected and launching a nuclear strike.
Yeah, man. Until they do, sir. I wouldn't put anything past Oon.
I reckon.
So anyway, just if you were worried about it, there's more reason to worry about Oon. He's gonna kicked the hornet's nest one too many times and ended up just getting smacked.
Yeah, what will be his demise?
It's not going to be pretty.
What will?
Diabetes.
Yeah. Either that or some assassination. You know,
Yeah.
just under the radar. Oh yeah, he died in his sleep of diabetes, but really,
Yeah.
Right.
strangled
at the ripe old age of 34.
Yeah.
You guys want to see a video?
What do we got?
We
It
gotta-
depends. There's lots of video options out there. It depends on what we're going to
There
watch.
are.
Yeah,
I don't want to see the
video. Yes.
2 girls, 1 cup or whatever.
No,
That's what you're asking.
no. I wasn't going to show you 2 girls, 1 cup, but a woman gets into goes to fisticuffs with another chick, but she's holding her baby when go time hits, and so it's that moment of what do I do when go time lands? She did what?
She hit the lady with the baby.
No, she just dropped the baby onto the pavement. And then an awesome fight ensues because they get entangled and they're doing one of those like I've got your
weave
arm
to weave.
There's I was going to ask you this. So there's 2 women fighting. How many weaves hit the ground with 2 women fighting?
4? No, just kidding.
2? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I was wondering myself how many. There's definitely 1 and possibly a second weave that hits the ground, which is nice. But they get into that scrap move where you're grabbing each other's arms so you can't punch me.
Yeah.
And they get in between a lamp, like they get a lamp pole between them.
What?
And so they're wailing each other like around the lamp pole. And the kid's long been dropped.
Does
The
that
baby
maneuver happen?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You got to check it out. Ready, E? So the one on the white on the right is holding the baby.
In portrait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see the baby. Okay.
See the baby. At this point, if you're going toe to toe, nose to nose, you set the baby down.
Headbutt. Oh, there goes the baby.
Flat on its back. There's 1 weave down. Did you see it?
Yes.
1 weave on the ground. Here's the lamp post.
How did they maneuver that?
These 2 boobs. Look at these. They got a lamp post between them.
Oh,
they're bruising their forearms.
Oh, this is so grim.
I know, it's just a grim display. I think right here is another. See that hair? Is that hair?
It did look like a weave. Yeah.
I think another part of a weave fell out.
That lady didn't even think twice. Watch this little 15-month-old kid just hit the ground right on her back.
Kid. No chance.
Yeah. Oh boy, there's a little push,
Little push,
shove,
and a headbutt's coming.
boom,
Bang, and then it's
and it's on. Baby's on her back. And it didn't even look like the lady who was right next to the drop baby tended to the baby.
Look at it. You know what's such a sad display too is
What part of this?
well, there's a lot that's troubling about this video. But seeing these little kids,
Yes.
a little kid seeing something like this should be screaming bloody murder. This should be so
Foreign and
freaking
strange.
out and foreign to a kid. But these little kids are like, "Where's the popcorn and shit?" Like this is so something they're used to seeing on probably a daily basis.
You're right about the second weave, by the way.
You think it is?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
I think so too. The little girl was dropped when this brawl erupted between the 2 women. They say on a housing estate, which is a term I've never heard before.
On a housing estate.
Housing estate.
Well, I gotta be honest. I don't.
I mean, is that what we're calling the
like an
ghetto
estate.
now, or the projects? We're calling them housing estates.
It didn't look like an estate to me.
Not the
personally.
estate that you're used to.
Not like the Fady Manor.
There
for
was
sure.
nothing manor about that estate.
Mm.
It looked like a lot of places I've seen in the country. I wouldn't have called them estates.
No,
Oh,
personally.
you bought a nice home in this these states here.
I'd like to introduce you to this property in this housing estate here in Baltimore.
Poor little girl. Did they say how old she was? Have no idea, right?
No,
Looked like 15 months. Yeah.
15 years old,
Yeah.
and somewhere between like 2 months old and 16 years old. If I had to guess, I don't know.
Just being held on the side of her mom. Mom gets in a fight, and all of a sudden you're on
Well, what
your
else are you
back
gonna
on
do,
the
Jay?
concrete.
What's she gonna do?
Hit her with the baby.
Right. Well, like
Yeah.
the dog that
We
one
saw
time.
the dog. That was very effective.
Boots had no
Oh,
idea.
Where am I
What are you
going?
doing?
that was great. It's one of my favorite videos ever.
That's not the first time a dog has been used as a weapon in that sort of I mean, obviously there's been the, Sikkim dogs, but that's been picked up by the leash and used as a wielding weapon. Yeah, it's a not a good state a video like this. I think seeing a parent go to blows is something that would be so scarring.
Yeah.
I think of the story I told when my dad took me to my first concert, Rod Stewart at Pine Knob, when I was like 12 years old or 11 years old.
That must have been a killer show.
And some drunken idiot kept laying on our blanket. There was like a blanket on the lawn. We just had lawn seats. And some fool kept laying on the blanket. And my dad finally was like, "Listen, bitch, would you get off the blanket, please?" And she's like, "Oh, you want me off the blanket? Fine." And she starts grabbing the blanket and like pulling it up the hill with us on it. And it was, and I remember my dad actually called her a bitch to her face. It was like the first time I'd heard my dad, and it was like, oh man, and having some drunken fool who's willing to pick a fight with some guy who's got a couple kids with him.
Yeah.
It just seems so outrageous, but I'll never forget it. Never.
Yeah.
He didn't come to like blows, or he didn't punch her in the face, but just this
confrontation.
The confrontation of it was just like, just weird. I imagine.
Any dad fights in your past?
No.
I can't think of a dad fight either.
No.
Bill.
My dad's been relatively kept it cool, I guess. I don't know I can't think of anything even close, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill's a pretty chill dude too. I wish I had one of those stories, but yeah, that would be the extent of the excuse me. Get off the blanket.
Homo Bill.
But I look like, like you said, like, and I don't look at that story as a negative, but I look at that as a positive, right? Obviously, you know what I mean? To
Bob
me, like,
didn't turn around and hit the bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, or even that I don't have a story,
or just like start squaring her up,
Right.
like, what up, bitch? You want a piece? You want to like that would have been devastating if my dad like challenged her,
just fucking knocked her down the hill,
or
just
her
rolling.
drunk boyfriend or something. You want a piece, man? You want to go? And then your dad's tumbling down Pine Knob's lawn with some idiot. That would have been so scarring, damaging. I'd never forget that.
Hey, due to construction, Ford and Holly has run out of room and needs to move some inventory off the lot. Therefore, they've lined up some incredible deals for TDC loyalists. Simply head to I-75 and exit 98. Mention Big E, his chronic ball itch. You will be rewarded with a lease payment of $148 per month on a brand new 16 Ford Fusion SE. Also, if you bring in a bottle of Gold Bond for Big E's nuts, you'll receive an autographed TDC shirt.
I think we're fighting about the wrong things nowadays. I don't know what those bitches were fighting about in that video. I imagine it wasn't about
someone disrespecting someone. Probably.
If you had real good audio, you 100% would have heard something about disrespect. There's no question.
Yeah, disrespect is a big thing in that community.
Right.
I imagine it wasn't about, like, you disrespected my portfolio, bitch. It wasn't along those lines. We weren't fighting about something deep. It was
stole my Magellan funds and shit.
But we're seeing this a lot. There was a brawl that took place in Connecticut at a restaurant. Little spat over some crab legs.
Well, they are delicious.
I've never had a crab leg.
You are weird that way,
dude,
man.
I can't do it. They
no
just look
seafood,
too creepy.
nothing.
Nah.
Man, you should try this, Mike. They're good.
They just look
crab and
gross.
lobster are good.
They look disgusting to me.
They look so gross. Do you eat it?
I haven't had crab legs before. I tried lobster, but I didn't really care for it, honestly.
That's astounding to me.
I tried lobster.
Sitting here with two adult males.
You know what looks? I think I've told you guys. The only thing that looks mildly appetizing to me is the crab cakes. Is it?
Yeah, those are good. Actually, I think I have had crab legs. Those are all right.
I imagine they're not good for you, but they look good.
I like the idea of pulling that meat out of that.
No, dude.
It's kind of
nothing
weird
about
if you think
it looks
about it.
appetizing to me.
Definitely weird if you think about it. I guess I only like very non-fit. Like I like shrimp and like.
See, that looks so gross to me too. Shrimp looks so gross. Ugh, can't do it.
Yeah, well, you avoid the uric acid that way, so that's good.
Yeah, which is what I was trying to avoid. I really didn't want.
With all what you got going on, the last thing you need is also the gout.
Yeah.
Well, this restaurant fight led to one teen losing a tooth, pepper spray being deployed, and these two fine individuals being arrested.
Oof. Can you imagine?
No.
Crab legs.
I can't.
It's a fight over crab legs.
Yeah.
You've come to blows. There's pepper spray in the restaurant.
I can't.
We're talking about one Clifford Knight and shit and his girl Lataya Knight. They were arrested. They're believed to be married. During the violence, a teen was punched in the face and he lost a tooth. While the mother used pepper spray in self-defense, she has not been charged. A separate mother was like, look at this shit going on over the crab legs, and pulled out her pepper spray and started blasting people. So that had to that required the fire department to vent the restaurant.
Is this a Red Lobster by any chance?
No, it was the motherfucking Royale buffet.
Buffet.
Yeah. Which is hilarious too, because say you get into a fight over
buffet, man. They're gonna bring more
over the last crab leg. All that means, Clifford, is they're just gonna bring fresh, hot crab legs out. That's how the buffet system works.
Right. Yeah. This is just a person who doesn't understand.
It's disrespect, dude. Like, you guys don't understand disrespect.
What's disrespect?
Well,
you take it up with the
he's
royal
probably
buffet.
reaching, had his eyes trained on that leg.
Yeah.
He's reaching for it, and somebody else reached in and grabbed it. That's disrespect. That was my leg and shit.
Like, don't you when you go to somewhere fine establishment like the Royal Buffet? Don't you think
Buffet Royale?
The
Buffet Royale.
Like, if you're there, don't you like when you see something that's at the end, like when it's like, oh, there's just a couple fries left in that pan.
Dude, yeah, you don't get that.
Nobody wants that last crab leg. That thing's been there for an hour.
No, that's a perfect
under a heat lamp.
You've hit it at the. If anything, this was a positive. You hit it at the perfect time because they're about to bring more out, like you said.
Are we totally sure we're onto the nature of the disagreement over the crab leg? We're assuming it was running out of the bin of crab legs. Could it have been something else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else you could argue about over a crab
You
leg?
need to eat more crab legs.
I don't know.
Fuck you, bitch. Like, what else could
I
you
don't
fight
know.
about? It's a Royal Buffet.
Maybe
I don't want to assume anything.
And you said you thought they were married.
Okay.
They're married, right? That's what they think.
Yeah.
And maybe like she thinks he eats too many crab legs, and he's like, "Fuck you, bitch! I'll eat as many crab legs as I want."
Are you thinking? Are you thinking that perhaps some tension was brought into the Royal Buffet, and then the crab leg was the spark that ignited the brawl?
Was the straw that broke the dromedary's back, so to speak.
Yeah,
could be.
I'm trying to think of another scenario where crab leg, Royal Buffet, Royal brawl like happens, and how you connect them. Like, how else could you connect them unless someone whipped a crab leg at someone? That's
they are
disrespectful.
whippable. They are whippable.
Can you whip a crab leg?
Yeah, I was like a frisbee almost.
Yes. You could definitely whack somebody with a crab leg. You could pinch them.
Yeah,
little pincers.
Yeah. So anyway, poor sons of bitches.
You guys should try crab legs. I'm just saying.
Maybe I will.
I have no interest. Why does everybody want me to
I'm
try
not going to like
fish?
bug you. Whatever. I mean, it's just I think you're missing out on an opportunity.
I've been amazed by this over the years.
I'm telling
Jake.
you this just like I'm telling you should go outside today, Mike. Same thing. I
I'll
think
do
it'd
that.
be good for you.
I'll do that. I've always been amazed though, and I know you won't push me on something. You won't give a shit. But it's been amazing to me how many people over the years are like, "What? You don't eat fish? Oh my god, you got to try!" And they want you to eat. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you eat. You could sit down and have a plate of dog shit, and I'd be like, whatever. That's what he's into.
You know what, dude,
what is it about? Like, what is it in that person that wants you to? Is it so that you attribute like, yeah, Sam, I am. I'll be damned. I like fish, and it's because of you.
Yeah, you got me on that train.
Thank you, Jay, for introducing me to those crab legs.
Right.
Is that what the end game is?
I don't know. I don't know why anybody cares, but they do, and it's amazing. It's not like
fish is the biggest
certain
one. You're
groups
right,
of people.
dude.
It's like a lot of people have tried to get me to eat fish over the years, and it's like, no, I just don't. No, I don't like the texture. I don't like the look. It stinks.
I find it odd because it's just such a large part of what people eat that you just off the table.
You know, here's the
and
thing.
Plus, you're not a guy who's like really particular about food usually. So I'd be like, yeah, Mike, I'm sure has had cod.
No, never.
Cod's
And the
good.
thing is, like, I can go to any restaurant anywhere, and they'll always have a chicken dish or a burger. So there's always something I can eat. It's like, oh, I'll just have the chicken. Like, I know I like chicken, and I know that smells bad and it looks weird.
So if you go to like a Joe Muir's or something, you're
I'll
getting
get a filet.
chicken. Okay.
I'll do steak.
Dude, here, but Mike,
steak or chicken.
This will help prove Mike's point, dude. I actually did try to do something different the other day when I went out for a dinner, and I was gonna. There was a nice burger that I liked. There was a nice chicken thing that I liked, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do something different. And I tried the smoked salmon, a smoked salmon sandwich, and honestly, I didn't like it. I just didn't like it in the end, and I was disappointed that I used this nice dinner.
You waste a delicious meal on a smoked salmon.
I did. But at least I tried.
Sorry to hear that.
I know. I'm never gonna get it again. Never.
That taught you, huh? Come on, guys. Broaden your horizons. Eat a fish.
I just said I tried. I didn't like it.
Try a different fish. Salmon's
I like cod.
very unique.
I like cod.
Salmon. Salmon's the one.
unique. Yeah, I got really sick of salmon. Man, I was eating too much salmon at the firm.
Really?
Yeah. Too much Atlantic salmon at 220.
I think
220 is a nice
what if
price.
I had that I have like
Birmingham.
Yeah.
there's another fish I tried once that I kind of didn't mind, but I can't fucking remember.
Someone tried to talk me into eating shark fillets at one point. They were like, "Oh, dude, it tastes just like fillets." I'm like, "Well, if that's the case, then I'll just eat a fillet because I know I like those." But I hate that people would do that with me with mushrooms. You can't even taste them. Like, well, then why are you eating them? I can't taste them. I don't want to eat them.
That is that's
slimy and gross.
That's a great thing, dude. Because I hate mushrooms. I personally, and the only reason mushroom is the only thing that I'll actually turn something. Hey, dude, I asked for no mushrooms because I do think you're right. The slimy and shit. And you're right. People will be like, "Oh, you can't even taste them." Well, then why is it there?
Well, usually that argument is attached to something that's good for you. Come on, just eat it. You can't even taste it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I use that with my kids all the time.
You can taste it first off.
You're right.
And Jay and I had a business lunch a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I was
such a high-powered business lunch that we got pizza.
Yeah, and I was just like, I gotta piss, Jay. Just order whatever. Which is
why would you say that to Jay?
I know. Well, I just said, just get us a pizza, whatever, man. And I figured, and of course he gets it with like, I don't know, triple mushrooms.
No,
whatever you ordered was like.
I just said put dude, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Green pepper, mushroom, pepperoni. How do you go wrong?
Yeah. Well, mushroom is how you go wrong.
Yeah, gross.
God, sad story out of New Orleans.
What do we got?
Couple was murdered in their bed. God, that's so scary when you think about someone being murdered in their bed, just laying there. And so they're laying in bed with their newborn baby, and someone gunned them down.
Never a good move, by the way.
The baby was fine. But I don't know. I'd want to talk to Dawn Scott and her boyfriend, Raynell Kimbrough, who were shot multiple times at their home. The newborn baby was just 3 or 4 weeks old. Now that's dangerous. Like you
crush that thing.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
People
if this couple
that.
wasn't dead, I'd want to have a stern talk with them about the dangers of laying in bed with your newborn baby.
People do that shit to stop it from crying. That's a huge mistake for all you new mothers out there.
Why is that?
Because then you're stuck with it down the line.
You're
Is
stuck
that the
with
deal?
it. I've heard from parents who do that. Man, it's like years.
Really?
Kid wants to sleep with you.
Mm.
Ugh.
I used to.
Oh, hold on. What?
For a while, I don't know how old I was, but for a while, when thunderstorms would happen, I'd still go and sleep. Not in the bed, but on the floor next to the bed.
How old were you?
14.
Come on,
Probably not that old, but for sure in the 7 or 8, maybe older.
So
that doesn't seem that outrageous. 7 or 8 year old being
maybe
scared.
old. Maybe it was older then. I don't know. I went through a period.
Hey,
Mrs. Fady, send us an
He
email.
was still in kindergarten.
I went through a period where I was really scared of thunderstorms, and if I woke up and there was a thunderstorm at all, it was blanket and pillow into the bed, not into the bed, but into the floor next to the bed for sure. It seemed like I was old.
I mean, this guy is such a total pussy. It's stunning.
It's funny because now I love him. Now anytime there's a thunderstorm, I love him.
You're still scared of dumb shit, thoe.
Yeah,
half the
no,
time
I
you
am.
have to walk outside with me because you're afraid of the.
Luckily,
dark.
thank God we don't do night shows anymore.
Yeah.
Thank God.
We used to walk outside and piss.
Yeah,
we'd walk outside.
I did.
He would just whip out his dong and start
Right.
pissing in your bushes.
Right, or wherever.
Yeah, or wherever is right. So this baby is laying between them when they were fatally shot. Scott's 2-year-old toddler and 10-year-old son were also in the house at the time. Nice scene. Imagine that. Those kids will have no problem getting over that. Police are
Dexter did
investigating.
pretty good with it.
What?
So Dexter did pretty good with it, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
At least the murderer has a heart. He's not a kid killer. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's a good point. They're investigating the deaths as a double homicide. The grisly murders were discovered shortly before 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday after the 10-year-old heard shots and then ran into the bedroom. Oh, she then knocked on the neighbor's door, who called police. The motive remains unclear. The families are both speaking out. She was a good girl. I can't say anything else. My brother was a loving person. Kimbrough's sister, Shakitha, added. He may have had his ups. He may have had his downs.
But
he had a disease.
Well, as soon as I read that sentence, he may have had his ups. He may have had his downs. I was like, okay, this guy is a horrible piece of shit.
this didn't come out of nowhere.
No, we are not talking about a random house break-in. If that's the lead statement when it's like, your brother's dead, tell us about him. Well, you know.
You know.
He had his ups, he had his downs. That's the polite way of saying, oh yeah, he was in some shit. But her quote was, but he never would do nobody what they did him.
Come again?
Is that a double, a
Hold
triple?
on, let's try to figure this out.
He may have had his ups, he may have had his downs, but he never would do nobody
He never would do
nobody what they did him.
He never would do nobody
what they did him.
Well
He would never do nobody
I'd like to diagram that sentence.
what they did him.
Where's the adjective and the pronoun and the?
I'm assuming what they did him was shooting him, right?
Yes.
So he would never do nobody what they did him.
That's a good statement. My brother would never shoot nobody.
Yeah.
Anyone. My brother would never shoot anyone.
And for them to literally put his girlfriend in the middle of this, a mother of three. I mean, why?
Actually, the baby was in the middle of this, but
yeah, good point. So that means that it sounds like exclusively the brother had some issues with some individuals and the girlfriend was an innocent bystander and shit. Whatever it may have been, it was cold-hearted, and the last person you have to answer to is God, and he's going to handle this, whoever you may be. So I don't know.
What are you laughing about?
I don't know. I don't know. Just
Gang rapey.
A bird flew by. Nice.
Hey, remember we were talking months ago about the porn star James Dean?
Yeah.
He was being accused of rape by a bunch of chicks.
Wasn't it the teen mom who said that too? The
Farrah Abraham.
Didn't she say that?
Yes. I don't know if she actually came out and said rape, but she said, or maybe she did. Maybe she did actually. One of the porn stars that accused him, this 31-year-old Amber Rain, who worked in the industry.
Amber Rain.
I know. Was Mercedes Rain taken,
Right.
Amber? She'd worked in the industry for 10 years. She passed away at her home in LA. The exact cause of death is not known, but they think overdose. She was one of 8 women who came forward claiming Dean sexually assaulted them both on and off movie sets. Last year, she revealed how difficult it was for her to come forward with the allegations because she since became friends with him. Like, that's really tough. I think he's the one that caused her to have stitches in her anus. And then, bygones and whatnot. Sure. And they became boys.
Water under the bridge.
He's vigorously denied the
stitches
the
in the
accusations.
anus. You know what they say? It's stitches in the anus.
Is that the new way for water under the bridge? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So Dean tweets out after her death, these levels of disrespect are powerfully uncool. Well put, Dean. In an interview with the Daily Beast in December of 2015, she said, "We're friends now, and I'll sometimes bring it up as a joke, and you can see it makes him physically uncomfortable when I do. So he does realize something was wrong that day. I thought it was an insecurity phase. He was just starting out. He was still a young punk coming in, and I still didn't know what the game was. His face twisted, and he came down on my face 2 times closed-fisted." She said he punched her in the face while they were still having anal sex. Wow, how do you even do that? He must have like some serious reach.
Yeah. Pull the head back.
Oh yeah. Okay, that wouldn't be too hard. He just starts shoving things in to the point where he ripped it, and I bled everywhere. There was so much blood I couldn't finish the scene. Well, that's unfortunate. She later had to have stitches. One of the guys, I thought one of the guys was saying that he considered her an amazing actress. That she was just dynamite for these scenes or something.
Yeah,
I was just like,
too
wow,
bad how this ended up. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, when
the great stars is lost from the industry.
Too soon.
I mean, as far as like laying down and taking Panuzel meat in a hole, she is like
incredibly good.
She was so good. She could fill holes in her body like no one you've ever seen. And that's the biggest tribute I can pay to her is, when she worked and was on camera, could she take a stuffing like no one?
I think I'm going to, in a memorandum, maybe find some of her porn today. And
yeah, why don't you pull up
Amber Rain?
Amber Rain.
That's RAYNE.
Amber Rain. Amber Rain. RAYNE.
I'm going to pay tribute to her by masturbating to it later today. That's what I was trying to get at, Chad. I didn't know if you got that or not.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, it was a little subtle, I thought.
Maybe Farrah Abraham's thing with him was that, if I'm remembering correctly, she tried to claim that whole porn video was just like was for their own personal
Right.
thing. It was just them being them. It wasn't even a produced porn.
Yeah.
I'm misremembering.
Even though
that
she
one.
made no, you're right. Even though she made
They said that she, Farrah Abraham said that she was raped, drugged, and abused by Dean over several months in 2013 when they were casually dating.
You know what's funny?
She said, James Dean raped me for the benefit of fame. He conspired against me and others with others that I thought were my friends at the time, and that was very hurtful.
You know what's funny when you said that? When I looked up Farrah Abraham raped, because I assumed that that'd be her only allegation.
She's got another one.
She apparently had a situation where she admitted that her Uber driver did not almost rape her, and just says he looked at her.
Uber's just taking a hit, man.
Yeah.
But she didn't, though. That's my point. Like, she came out and said that she must have come out and said that some Uber driver raped her, and it turns out he just looked at her. Some word I don't know how to pronounce. Lasciviously.
Sure.
Anyway,
Wait, would you see what word he's trying to pronounce really quick, Jay?
I've never seen that word.
He looked at her how? Read it.
Lecherously.
Lecherously. Oh, like a lech, like a leech.
Yeah, you know, it's that English website.
But
they're constantly using funny adjectives.
But this is her
Putting
quote.
in extra U's and O's and words that don't need it.
I mean, it looks like this is her quote, though.
Lecherously.
But anyway, the point is, I didn't even, when you said that, I would assume there was only one. So this is the second time now that means that she's claimed rape.
The accusations against Dean began when his ex-girlfriend Stoya said that James Dean held me down and fucked me while I said, no, stop. I used my safe word. I just can't nod and smile when people bring him up anymore. That was followed quickly by two other accusations, one from Tori Lux, who claims he violently hit her and held her to his crotch on the set from an adult film. And then from adult film actress Ashley Fires, who says he tried to rape her in the shower on one occasion. Cora Peters said that she refused anal. Well,
can't refuse anal.
What are you doing? I mean, that's Dean's move. Let's be honest here.
can't go-
James
yeah,
Dean.
Right.
If you're going out with James Dean, you're doing anal. Let's be clear. She refused anal during one shoot, but that Dean shoved her face into a sofa and forced himself on her. Another woman told the LAist she was raped by Dean as a crowd watched inside a Vegas hotel room in 2009. That seems like a weird time to rape someone when there's a crowd watching. It makes it seem like
well, this whole story just furthers the what everybody says. Rape is about domination, not about sex. I mean, the dude's a porn star, right? He's banging porn stars.
Yeah, good point. Nikki Blue said Dean raped her with a beer bottle.
Nikki.
Nicki.
Oh, interesting.
Blue, BLUE, not BLEW, like you'd think. That Dean raped her with a beer bottle in an off-camera attack at a rap party. One of Dean's ex-girlfriends, Joanna Angel, names are absolutely beautiful, blasted him on Twitter saying he's dead on the inside. He's dead to me. He literally is the worst person I've ever met. And then you've got the allegations from.
So what's this dude's status? He's still working?
Yeah, he's fine.
Still doing his thing?
I think so. I haven't checked up on Mr. Dean's work in a while.
Yeah.
I imagine you haven't seen much.
Is there
of
anything
him.
remarkable? Is this dude like just hung like a horse? Like, what's his deal?
I don't know. Pull up James
How
Dean
did he become
porn.
the guy?
Yeah, let's pull this cat up and see what he's all about.
Like, have you ever seen him? Would you know his face?
I don't think so, but maybe. I suppose anything's. I've seen tons of porn. We watch porn all the time at work for different stories, or I mean, all work related. We wouldn't be hard,
sure,
and whacking off to it, but.
Hey, got to tell you about the Amazon link while we're waiting for you.
Please do.
Please use it, DetroitCast.com. There you'll find a link to Amazon. Everybody shops on Amazon. While you're doing so, you can help the Detroit Cast. So just click through our portal. We'll get a little bit of credit for your sale. It'll kick back. It doesn't add anything to your cost. So use our Amazon link, please.
Amazon.
He's not looking for an image of James Dean. He's looking for actual porn.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I guess Jay's right. We should check out his dong. Let's see what he's sporting.
Yeah, it was
No, I don't recognize
I've
him.
Seen the dude.
I don't recognize him.
Yeah, I don't.
Don't put it on the
It's
feed.
not, it's
but
not.
Let's see some of his fine work here.
Nope, never seen him.
Fast forward.
Jeezy. We just want to see his dong. E, get to his dong. Come on.
There's something else playing, obviously, under here.
Come on, E. Find a dong.
Okay, it should be.
Well.
Gross. Oh, see, he's doing it. It's his go-to
that's
move.
his go-to.
It's his
That's
go-to. Yeah, it looks impressive enough, right? King, you approve?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I've never seen that dude before.
Yeah, me either.
By this right here, you can't.
Yeah. No, I figured I'd seen his face. He's
not a fan of his work.
He's a somewhat of a household name. Everybody kind of.
Yeah. Anyway, I was going to do a story that would have horrified Sarah titties, but I'll hold it back. Should we just do some email?
Oh yeah, don't do that one.
I know. I there was only one angle I wanted to take with this story, Jay. Honestly, it's a
gang rape of a 9-year-old girl.
9-year-old girl while mom's in the garage smoking meth. Who hasn't been there, right? But while that story is horrific on its face, the thing that I found most strange about it was the guys that were arrested for it. Randall and Jerry Flatlip and Josiah and Larson Rondeau, which leads me to believe that there were 2 sets of brothers that participated in the gang rape of a 9-year-old.
This is another Rondeau Flatlip job.
Yes, exactly. And I'm trying to think of the scenario that would exist where me and G
and me and Chet
and you and Chet would
let's
be
hit
like
that shit.
Like one of us would just throw that out there. Like, I mean, that's the ultimate Hail Mary, dude. Who couldn't go for a piece of ass right now? And everyone's like, hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, there's a 9-year-old over there,
dude, totally unattended, just sitting on the couch. I mean,
mom's smoking meth. Let's do this.
Whatever. It's go time. Let's go. And all 3 other participants are like, hell yeah. Like, dude, I can't wrap my head around. Not one of the 4 would go,
guys, what are we doing here?
Look, I want to get my dick wet as much as the next guy, but please, let's seriously.
Nobody as a governor. Nobody.
Nobody.
But we're not going to do that story.
We're not doing that story.
We're not doing that story because that's troubling and awful.
Even though the kid's okay, they didn't kill the kid.
The kid's fine.
The kid's fine. Yeah.
The Rondeau Flatlips. I mean, they don't do much damage. They're gentle lovers.
Well, I wouldn't. The Rondeaus. I don't know if it was the Rondeaus or the Flatlip brothers. But the cops went there and they found blood on one of the sheets and stuff. It sounds like a horrible nightmare of a scene. But for Sarah Titty's sake, I'm leaving that story on the sidelines. I'm not
even going to mention it.
Yeah. The good news is they did take the child away from the mom though, which is kind of sad.
Oh, good. Well, she has a fine life ahead of her at foster care and possible adoption. Probably not, but
right.
Good things in store for her, I'm sure. Hey, Mike, we have some email.
Yes.
Before we get to that, I got to mention our buddy Merck, financial advisor extraordinary. You got to go see him. If you haven't talked to Merck, everybody out there, go talk to Merck. Your investment plan.
I'm trying to go see him this week, as a matter of fact.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Give him a little pot of gold.
Yeah. What's left of it?
Yeah, good. He'll smartly invest it and manage it, Mike.
Oh, he better. Told him he's got one job and one job only, and that is to turn me into a millionaire, sir.
Your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call today and tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. Hey, real quick, Jay, I wanted this just because it was baseball. This popped up. You might have a new team if you want to cheer for. The White Sox have named a commentator with your favorite palsy.
Really?
Cerebral palsy.
Cerebral.
Wait a minute. What?
Got a palsied commentator?
Yes. Apparently, one dude is kind of backing off a little bit. It says White Sox name a new TV announcer to sub for this dude, and he has cerebral palsy.
Wow.
And there's the pitch. Adam LaRoche goes yard.
Seriously, man.
How is that going to play
Let's just be a touch of the palsy.
A very subtle touch.
Someone to root for, I guess. I thought you'd find that
Watch
interesting.
that with interest.
Wow. That's a team worth cheering for at that point.
By the way,
what if they were to win the title? The World Series? How would that call go? The winning call.
The White Sox have won it.
Pop fly.
That would get some views.
pop line in like center field for the final out. You know.
Yeah. E, you're being funny right now. Which reminds me, what is your stand-up lineup going here coming up?
I gotta look. There's not much there. I have a few things coming up, but they're not. It's hard to explain. I think a few of them are not like public things necessarily. I don't know. It's hard. I've got to look at. Look, I do have some coming up in April, but I gotta look.
Are you on track for your 180 or whatever this year?
I've fallen a little bit short, but not much. I mean, I'm certainly doing it, but I have fallen. I'm down a little bit right now on the pace, but
it's gonna be an amazing day when East sets a goal and like outshines it.
Yeah,
that's happened in my life before.
It has.
Yes.
All right.
Example begs the question. Give us an example.
I'm doing it right now.
Doing it quite well. You got the audio on the YouTube today, right?
Yes.
Still on? Okay.
Yes.
Ryan writes in, Jay, you've been on to something. Time magazine has a cover story on the side effects of unlimited and unabashed access to free internet porn. Didn't know that. I haven't seen the new Time. Kids who grew up with it are having Walter's issues around naked ladies because of the massive amounts of porn they've consumed between 14 and 20 years old. Their brain doesn't associate an actual naked chick with a boner. Now at least I feel a little better about growing up without all this, just a little.
Wait, what is he saying then?
Saying you get desensitized if you watch a bunch of
Sure.
porn?
Yeah.
So I guess there's a big Time magazine article on it.
So they don't. How did he say that? They don't associate a naked woman with a boner.
He may be taking a little poetic license here.
Okay.
But, he says,
I would think it'd be more accurate that they wouldn't take a naked woman as like a person, as much as like a fucking hole to dip into.
I would bet you anything it's affecting sex lives and an inability to get it out because you're used to spanking it to porn, and it probably sets you off. I mean, we've talked about this, just the I don't know. I got to read that, but
yeah.
Jeff writes in, Kong Dick. God, do I have to be Kong Dick?
Nah, maybe he's talking about me.
I'll take it.
Olaf and Screech. Olaf? Olaf's from
Frozen.
Big hit. Let it go. Have you seen that yet?
No. No.
Olaf's pretty good. He's a little snowman.
He's a star of a movie.
He's a happy snowman.
Take it.
I had the privilege of watching Fat E's attempt at the Special Olympics workout. My God, man, what the hell was that? There is no doubt Doughy E is related to Screech from Saved by the Bell. On a side note, I would actually like to see proof of any girl that would allow that nasty, stinking, non-showering Panoose near her or his glory hole. I was laughing my ass off. Don't get me wrong, I am 3 cheeseburgers away from a heart attack, but I think I could do better. Matter of fact, I would like to challenge E to a showdown. We could raise money for charity or to get E laid in 2016. E's dad should have beat him more as a kid. My God. Keep up the good work, and Jay, please keep the drop machine going. Also, tell Bertha I can hear him getting fatter.
What
shot.
What would the showdown be? I don't understand.
Mr. 3 cheeseburgers away from a heart attack.
I'd want to see an image of the person before I agree to a showdown.
Well, there you go. Send in an image. We need to see an image of you before E agrees to
What if
anything.
he's a whale? What if he's an absolute Burger King whaler?
Then maybe I'll do the showdown. I don't want him saying that. I say yes or something, and then all of a sudden I get the picture of him, he's fucking Mr. Buff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tracy writes in, God damn it, listening to Monday's episode and talking about breathalyzers. What the fuck kind of lawyer doesn't know the basics of this shit? So there's a required dude. All right, here's the kind of lawyer who doesn't know the criminal procedure behind a DUI. One who doesn't give a shit about DUI cases, and one who has no desire to handle your piddly little stupid DUI bullshit case.
Jay's onto real shit.
My God, man.
Yeah. There's a this is a common.
Should I tell the lay people how this goes?
Yes, you should, because Jay, I was guilty of this too. I figured if I murder someone and they wrap me up in it, I'm going to call you. I mean, Jay, I'm in trouble. I've murdered someone, and now they're trying to send me to jail for it. Help.
Say you have a torn ACL. Do you go to a dermatologist? That's a skin doctor.
Right.
There's somebody you see about your pretty prominent.
It's getting huge
liver spot there, but you wouldn't go see him about your ACL, would you?
I wouldn't, as a matter of fact.
I'd say, I don't know, 70 to 80% of lawyers kind of specialize in something. There are those that take anything that comes in the door.
Yeah.
And there are those who do criminal law. There are those who do divorce shit, estate planning, transactional contract stuff, employment,
and the goal
whatever
is
it
to
is.
be expert in your field.
Dude, that's how this shit plays out. So I can't tell you how many times I've been called by family or friends over 15 years of doing this, where they're like, yeah, this happened. What do I do? It's like, dude, I don't know. I mean, I can sort of talk it through with you and tell you the lay of the land.
Yeah.
But you know how many thousands of laws and regulations and court rules and procedures there are? Nobody knows all that shit.
Can know all that stuff.
So the fact that I don't know what the best procedure is in a DUI matter, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Nobody can do that sort of thing.
But apparently Tracy does. I hope he's a cop or a criminal lawyer because he sure knows a lot about this shit. He says, so there's a required abstinence period, meaning they don't want you chewing gum, drinking water, etc. before a breath test. I believe it's about 15 minutes. The field tests they perform are twofold. They kill the time and allow the officer to gather more evidence against you. It's always on camera if possible. So it, as with anything you say, can be used against you. Admit to having a drink or two, reasonable cause, search your breath without a warrant. You are not legally compelled to perform any of the tests or say anything. Yeah, okay. You do not have to take a field breath test, but you can be placed under arrest and taken in on suspicion of DUI, at which point you are required to submit to a breath or blood test. Almost everyone claims to have had 2 drinks hours before, and most people are nervous and agitated. It's very likely if you perform the sobriety circus test, you'll be giving the police ample evidence to suspect you of DUI, in which case they can now search your vehicle looking for further evidence. The very best thing you can do is don't drink and drive.
Well, that's not an option. What if that's not an option?
And if you have been drinking, it's probably best to say nothing except I do not consent to any searches. I would like to call my lawyer. Decline the test they offer, go to the station, then request a blood test rather than a breathalyzer. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
And that's what Gorsiga told us, right?
Yes, he did. And I think that isn't
maybe your alcohol level will drop sufficiently in the interim. Isn't that what we said in this episode?
Or if you just finished your last beer 10 minutes before you left the bar and got pulled over, you're going to process more alcohol by the time you get to the police station.
I use the doctor example, an engineer, right? My brother designs seats. Hey, Chet, go design an engine. You're an engineer. Go design it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you put him in that department, give him some training in that area and give him some time. Yeah, you could design an engine, but it's not what you do, man. I mean, how many professions?
Don't take it so seriously. I think a lot of people think that about lawyers.
It's just
you can handle a murder case.
Huge pet peeve of mine, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd laugh at people for that
Again,
if I wasn't just as guilty of feeling that way too. Like, you passed the bar, so you must know about all that shit.
It's like 15 years of this shit. I can't tell you how many times I've had random questions, and it's just like, damn it, man. I got to spend time like looking shit up that just isn't.
Yeah.
I litigate, so that puts you in the context of like going to court and knowing how that process generally works. But yeah, could I go litigate a DUI case? I could, but I've never done one.
Yeah.
So I don't know the procedures that are leading up to that shit. Here's an example. A dude, really high level estate planner, was somehow involved in a case I had. So I had to go for an evidentiary hearing on one of my cases, and for some reason I had to have this estate planning attorney come and testify to something and just put something on the record. So I'm talking to this dude. He's like a well-known name in this area. I'm like, so just meet me at Wayne County Circuit Court and, whoever's chambers. And he's like, well, where's that? I'm like, right. Yeah. Wayne County Circuit Court. I'll see you down there. No, I'm not sure which court that is. I'm like, shit, man.
Yeah.
This dude has never been to court.
Yeah.
So there's like all kinds of freaking
attorneys that.
Yeah.
That's
just like
funny.
Doctors, engineer, whatever it is. I mean, fucking break.
Yeah. Now,
save the rest for tomorrow.
Anyway, yeah, I still want to know if dismissing the breathalyzer at the scene, because I've seen people do it. We've all seen the videos of the guy holding the note outside the car window that says, I do not, here's my license in this baggie. Here's a note that just says, I do not wish to speak one word to you. Here's my lawyer's card. Call him if you've got any questions. And the cop's finally like, okay, well, see you later. It's like, no way. All you got to do
worked.
Dude. But I don't know if that guy was drunk as shit. Like, that will impress me when a guy's had 15 beers at the bar and tries to pull that stunt out his window. Like, it's one thing to just get pulled over and you're stone sober.
I got rights, guys.
Yeah. But if you're driving like an asshole and have bloodshot eyes, is the cop just going to rip you out of the car? I don't know what the deal is. Anyway. All right. Well, let's call it a day there. E, do you have any stand-up coming up?
No, not. It's not in the next week anyway. Not in this next week.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, we'll bid you adieu. Jay, if you're cool with that.
Take us out of broadcast, E.
All right.
Let's end this episode.
All right. Well, have a good rest of the day, everybody. We'll do it again tomorrow. See you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.